Hi, it's Paul McIntyre. Welcome to today's edition of In the Can, a daily edition from the Press Centre talking to the big international and Australian names in tech, media and marketing. Sunita Gloster, you have just come express from Oliver Stone's session, an Oliver Stone session. Celebrities are everywhere here this week. Well, actually, we have a few on stage. We have Ballesty and Mat Baxter here as well. Sizzle, what is it, Sunita?
Look, there's a lot of talk about Cannes being taken over by celebrities, and I don't think it is. You know, I think there are certainly, there's a handful of big names here, but I was just saying to Adam, I spent the rest of the day hanging out in the Innovation and Inspiration Lounge downstairs and just watching people who I'd never heard of, mingle, walk the work, try the technology, talk about it, and that's where some of the real insight is.
Matt, you started this whole thing last week saying celebrities are overcooked and, killing Cannes, if you like. Yep. Different view now, or...?
No.
Right.
I think Oliver Stone is a relevant celebrity to have at Cannes. He's a director, and he actually has, intelligence and information to contribute to the discussion. I just think there's a little bit of superficiality with some of the other people that get rolled out, and you sit in these Palais sessions listening to basically people that don't really know that much about marketing and branding. So I think the big sessions need to get back to the roots of what we're here to celebrate, which is creativity and marketing, communications and technology. And
yeah, I think there's a mix of, clickbait, so getting in the big names to sort of draw a crowd. But I actually saw on Sunday Ben Johnson, who famously cheated in the '88 Olympics, and he's done some work with Skins, the Aussie compression company.
Right.
And he was on stage telling about his story and the sort of journey back to truth and how that sort of links into the work that Skins are doing on brand purpose. So I actually think that had value.
Let's talk about the work. Matt, you're a judge. You're judging on the media round.
Yeah.
What have you seen in terms of the work that's standing out?
For the last 10 years, every year we've said it's the year of the mobile. And actually, for me, the first time that I believed that to be true was this year, where consistently, in almost every piece of work that got traction in the room with a juror or a jury, was work that had a mobile anchor that enabled the consumer to participate with the campaign and engage with the campaign in a really meaningful way. And that then lends itself to kind of the next big thing, which is this shift away from kind of text-based language for mobile and social and moving into a really kind of a very visual format. With platforms like Snapchat and Instagram, we're seeing visual communication from brands being a really, really important thing. Last year, emojis were really big.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of brands saw the success of the emoji campaign from last year and decided to do a lot of emoji work. And so there were emojis everywhere this year.
I think the New Zealand work for Mick Whopper, which is for Peace Day, bringing Big Mac and Whopper together. I think it's hilarious. It's a fantastic idea, which took them 5 years for their client to buy.
Sunita, work. What have you seen?
The thing I would look at, which is known to us all, is the Monty Christmas from John Lewis,
Righto.
which won a Grand Prix for creative effectiveness. And what you need to read is the statement by the jury, which said, although that work, which we all know and love, won the trending trifecta on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, it was actually the delivery it did and the contribution to profit, which was an 8-to-1 ratio, which gave it a hands-down win as a Grand Prix. And I reckon that's at the heart of what the festival's about.
You've talked also about a bit of emotion coming back. Emotion's a bit de rigueur this week, is that right? Or not? Or lacking it, perhaps?
Well, it depends what time of day, but I think it's definitely been a frequently used word, I reckon, in the sessions that I've been in.
Matt, have you seen any of that in your round of judging?
Look, emotion always rules the room with the jury. I mean, that emotion is still the thing that gets the human response, both from consumers, but also from the jurors when they're looking at work.
Historically, in the media round, a lot of non-media agencies have won your competition. Give us a hint. Will it change this year or not?
I think this year it'll be balanced, but probably still favouring probably more so the creative agencies. I think the creative agencies are just going back to the point made earlier about emotion. I think creative agencies are extremely good storytellers, and a large part of Cannes is about telling the story not only to the consumer, but then the story of your campaign and how it performs. So I think in the room, the creative agencies tend to have really powerful case studies told extremely well, and media agencies are building that muscle gradually. And they're improving at it. And to be frank, also, media is still a creative pursuit. So media is not the preserve purely of media agencies. Obviously, it's not.
A media idea is about an idea that can sort of transcend channel, shit word, sorry, but, can, take it across so many different places for different reasons and have a different message for the channel. That's basically a great media idea, right?
So can sometimes be, did you like that? Did you see that?
I saw that.
Can be a little seen as a bit of a junket for brand marketers, at least, Adam. You're here, so welcome.
What?
Yes, exactly. What do you take home to your team, to your company?
So I think for inspiration, I would say that South by Southwest is a better education for marketers, really seeing the future. But when I come here, it completely reminds me that storytelling, emotion, creating connection, that's our job, right? And so it reminds me to go home and really push my agencies for really fantastic ideas. And I think sometimes when you're in the day-to-day grind and you're trying to get a number, sometimes you miss that.
I agree with Adam. You know, I always leave here incredibly inspired about the business we're in. And I think for marketers, it's a terrific marketplace to get a real overview of some of the themes that are both in market and coming.
Hey, it's time for very cold iced water, I think. It's very hot in
really
the
hot.
So thank you for coming, and all the best for the rest of Can.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks,
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of In the Can.